Hello future tech leaders, I am Sindhuja. Based on my own experience, I know that learning the right skills can shape our future. What if I say learning was as thrilled as the tech world itself? There we go. A cloud foundation, that's exactly what you will experience. From day one, you will be immersed in the interactive sessions and expert-led courses that covers most of the widely used technologies in the zone of data science to cloud computing, which brings more light to the life of a techie. I'm so excited to help you and unlock the true potential of a technology. Well, then why to wait? Let's see what it unfolds.
Today, we will discuss about monitoring task, proactive monitoring and transport management. We will see these are the basis consultant normally do these tasks. We can say 7% these tasks. Most of the time, they are going to monitor the system, proactive monitoring, because they want to identify the problems that could rise into the SAP system. And they can solve. And maybe user-related activities, 20% and 10% other activities. %70% of the time is like monitoring task. Even I got around like rich experience in SAP Basis. But sometime when I have to do the project for some company, they give me the monitoring sheet. In the monitoring sheet, I have to fill that. In the monitoring sheet, we can fill this information. In monitoring task, there is nothing. We have to run 10-15 T-codes. And in these 10-15 T-codes, we have to check the system health. Like our system is healthy and running properly or not. This is very important task. You have to understand how to monitor the SAP system. You have to monitor whether the process is running fine or not running fine. If there are any missing process or any killed process. You have to monitor how many users are logged in. What is the memory status? Any background job is paid or not. Backup is completed successfully or not. These are some very basic monitoring tasks we have to do. And most of the companies, they have a template. They have to fill the template Excel sheet according to the inputs. We will see what are the monitoring related tasks. There would be 10-15 T-codes. It will depend on the organization to organization. We are going to discuss important T-codes that every company is going to use. First of all, we have to check the server process. How many server processes are running? Any server process got stopped or not? For that, we have to run the transaction code SM50. We have 5 types of work process. You can see we have the dialog work process. Whenever a user is logged in, you can think about one dialog work process can accommodate 10 to 50 users. You can say if I am having 10 dialog work process, it means very easily 100, 200, 300 users can log into the system. You can say that we have 10 dialog work process are there. Obviously, 200 users can simultaneously log in. But suppose some dialog work process. Right now, the status is running and other status is waiting. Suppose all the dialog work process are occupied. You will not be able to log in into the system. System will be hanged. Suppose 10 users are dedicatedly assigned the resources. Like you. In that case, other dialog work process will not be available for other users and our system will be hanged. Here we have to check the status. Whether any work process got hanged or not. On hold or not. This is very important T-code SM50. In SM50, you are going to check whether I will kill one work process. We have defined these things. These are the default. Values are coming. But suppose we want to change the value. How to change the parameter? Everything is configurable. Default is 10 coming during installation. But suppose I want to change. I can do RZ11. And in RZ11 can go to star DA star. If you don't know the exact parameter, you can type star DIA dialog work process. Now we can say work process number dialog here. Now we can display. Now you can set up maximum 5 thread dialog work process in one server. And minimum is 2. And our current configuration is 10. Current value is 10. We can change this value. But everything will depend on the memory. Because each of the process requires some memory. Each work process require. You can think about one dialog work process require 200 MB RAM. If you are having 2 GB RAM, you can allocate 10 dialog work process. But suppose you are having 20 GB, 30 GB free. You can allocate more. It means more users can log in. One dialog work process can accommodate 10 to 500 users. It will depend whether the users are continuously working. If users are continuously working, then obviously you require one dialog process can accommodate 2-3 users. But suppose somebody log in and they are just not doing nothing. He just enter one transaction code. And after some time, he runs the transaction code. Then in this way, they can accommodate multiple. We can change the value. Because this is a static value. I told you we have two types of parameters. Dynamic RZ11 static. To static, because to change this value, we have to restart the system. We can run the transaction code RZ10. You have to check the process. We are having these type of process. We have dialog work process. We have update process. Update process is only one is enough in the whole system. It is going to update into the database. Update is only one. We don't require multiple update process. Update process one is because it is going to update into the database. And background process. Suppose a long running job have to run or we want to schedule something. We want to schedule like backup in the evening. We can schedule in the background. We can schedule like it is going to run at 9 p.m. or any activity or in report that we want to schedule in background. We can schedule background. And if we want to take the printout, we can take the printout using spool work process. These are the different type of work processes RL. Right. We are having 4 work process. Dialog or interactive login. Normal dialog user is going to use dialog work process. Here we have to check the status. Whether status is fine or not. If it is on hold or not. If any process is on hold, we have to identify why it is on hold. What is going on. And then we have to try to solve the problem. Suppose we are continuously observing that all the dialog work processes are occupied all the times. And we have enough memory in the system. What we can do? We can take a maintenance window during weekend. And we can increase the number of work processes in that. This is one activity that we have to do. This is a process which is running on the operating system. Suppose I kill this process manually. Maybe sometime it could be killed by some virus. And this is some program also. I am going to kill this process manually. You can see here. Because everything is running in the same server. I log in here. I go to the process. Process number is 724. Process. It's 724. This is the task manager. Windows Task Manager. This is the work process, which is running at the OS level. Now I am killing this work process at OS level. I am now killing this work process manually. Now we refresh here. Now you see, sent is gone. Now they have assigned another work process at OS level. At SAP level, we are having 10 dialog work process. But here we got one message here. One time we got the failure of this work process. We can identify what happened. And then we can check the log. If you are going to observe one T-code can take 1 day or 2 days. Also, if you are going to just study SM50 also, there are a lot of options here. Add it. Go to list. It will depend. How do you want to dive? But most of the time, like even 5-6 year experience guy, they just do a 50 T-code. They just observe what is happening, whether the process is running or not running. But here you can see the work process, trace, and you can check all the logs there. S empty is the T-code. You have to check process. Check process. How many type of process we are having? We are having dialog process. We are having update process. Update process. We are having background process. We are having spool process. These are the 4 processes are available in SAP system. You have to monitor whether the process are running fine or not. Right. Second T-code is M1. In check the application server. Check application server. Right now, I am having only one server. Suppose I am having multiple application server. I am having 10 server, 20 viz. Then I can see the status of each of the servers. We can run the T-code. We are having this instance number. Instance numbers alert. Training is my server name. TRN is my system. And system name. And sounded is instance number. If I am having multiple instances, I can see the status. Whether the instance status are working or not working. We can find the status. Status is once instance is started. It is showing here. It is going to show you. Zo to Turtilo 4. Suppose I am having 4 instances. It is going to show me 4 instances are running. If anyone is not running, we can identify from one place. We don't have to log in into the 4 servers. We don't have to log in into the 4 servers. And then we have to identify. We can just log in into any of the servers. And then we can run SAP1 and check the status, whether all the application servers are running or not. Then we have to check M21. SIM21 is the system logs. Any error message, any error, or related information, you can find here. We can specify the time. Suppose you have monitored till your shift starts from AM. You can see from AM till time now. And then you can execute. And you can observe any party. Like if the priority is high, there is nothing. Nothing is. Like any serious thing is happening here. If I just change the date also. Let's see. I changed the date too. Our servers are running. Nothing. There is nothing. No problem. If problems are coming, we can find it here. Like we can see the complete information. Like here. Just now you have seen. I have cancelled one work process. A new work process ID. Assigned. It is saying start work process 1. D6. Earlier it was different. Process I. It is going to display. It is going to display the complete information. Operation test. The specific work process has been started with the operating system process ID. Because it is just information. Whatever things are happening at OS level, it is going to show it here. System log. Because if it is a production system, you are going to get lot of error messages and lot of information from here. Then we come to that is ABAP dumps. That is runtime error. Means your program is right. But suppose you have created a program 10 divided by 0. 10 divided by 0. Also divided by 10. Syntax of program is right. But when we are going to execute that program, then it is going to show the error. Here in T22, you can see if any time there is a runtime error or not. And you have to observe how many dumps have been generated. The transaction code is there is no. Are you able to see runtime errors? 0 runtime errors. Yesterday and today. You can see from the previous session. Then we come to how many users are logged in. You can see ddiffuser is logged in. User. We have to observe how many users are logged in. Log. How many users are logged into the system and how much memory they are consuming. We can see from the add. Then we can see the log. What is log? To make the database inked, we have the log. If suppose some guys suppose editing table can't edit right, cannot edit that table, is editing a table. 2. Cannot edit. User is having log. Having log. Data is very smart. Database. To make the database consistent, what the database is going to do, data is going to keep a log. The user have not completed there. You can see here right now. Suppose I am going to edit one table. It is saying that make the changes. I have to log in with another user. I am logging with User. User. I am going to run. You can see here, user is editing one table. I am trying to enter some entries here. Open. I am going to log in with another user. User. I am going to log in with other user. 2. Now I am running. I am going to edit particular document, but user 1 is already editing. I can see. Are you able to see what it is written here? The data is logged. User, you can display the data. You can display the date. I am going to run the transaction code. I want to see the log. Suppose user 1 started editing in the morning time, but due to some urgent, he left. He left the office and he is no more accessing this table. Now you have to edit that table. You have to delete the log which is held by the user in SMAP. You can see here. Are you able to see the log? User. Clients 1. He is editing 2 tables. Right? I cannot edit. I am logging here with user number 2. I am higher logging with, but if I want to edit this table because maybe due to some urgent work, he left the organization. Then you are going to confirm the user 2. Can we delete your log? If the user confirm that we can delete the log, we can delete the log. Otherwise, we have to wait until or unless the user complete the task. We can delete also because maybe some urgent other have to perform in the same table. The log has been. It means 2 is like don't have that. It means I can also. It will not show me the message. It has not shown me the message. That user is user. Lock the data in. You can check these things. Then we have in. You are going to see the OS monitor. You are going to see CPU utilization. Swap it. Everything you can see. You don't have to log in at OS level from the SAP. Also you can see the operating system related information used. I can run the code. Are you able to see? Here we got operating system. Our operating system is Windows. The server name is training. Hostname. CPU utilization is only. System utilization. User utilization is 1% of CPUs. How much memory we are having? We are having 32 GB RAM space. Weak disk utilization. Over the time also, we can see here if any problem is coming. We want to understand which processes are consuming CPU. We see it from here. 40 CPU process. This is. Then another T-code is T. With DBA cockpit, you can monitor the database. Data in database monitoring, you have to check the space. You have to see the growth. Statistics and other things. This is the code. No matter whatever database you are having, whether it's a HANA, SQL Server, whatever database you are having, you can run this T-code. Be a cockpit. This is very useful T-code. Here you can see all the database related information. From here you can since I am running first time for this T-code. That's why it is taking time. Next time onwards, it is not going to take much. Now you can see there. It is going to show all the information from here. It is very important code. From here we can see all the information in terms of everything you can see here. What is the database? Are you able to see? First you try to understand what is our database. MaxDB case. Here in the left side, we have all the thing. We have the performance of the database. You can see the current status. You can see the space. I want to see the data area. How much is the data area and how much is the data? It is like IU. It is saying that total size is 30 GB. Total size is. What is the log area? Log is getting filled or not filled. We can see here. Percentage. Usable size. Use it log arrays only. We have to keep on monitoring. If we are not going to monitor, our system will be. It could be hinged also. We have to monitor the different things. Even we can run the SQL command from here also. SQL command from here also. To run the SQL command, we have the select editor. Here we can run the query also. Like all the users are stored in which table? There is a table where all the users are stored. Are you able to see? These many are the users in our system. IMBO. send. You can run. You can perform anything. You want to take the backup of the system. You can take the backup and other things can also be done for. This is very, very powerful and important. T you can execute like I did is a table which contains all the user related information. We can see that there are thousands of tables. It will depend on the schema and type of software you are using. You are using which software you are going to use. Getting my point? It will depend on the software also. It depend on the software also. I am saying that it will depend on the. You can see here system stat. What is the schema? You can see here. Are you able to see the schema here? This is the schema. This is the schema. This schema contain all the information related to our. Here you can see all the database. Mostly the times you have to check the space performance. It will depend on the role. As a junior consultant, business consultant, you have to monitor database growth and database size only. If you are working for a long time, then might be you have to fine tune the system. Other activities also. You cannot run updated statement. This is a select statement. Those things you cannot do. This is only for monitoring purpose, not for any other purpose. This is only for the monitoring purpose. You must knowing the schema name. You can see it will depend. Schema will depend on the which application you are going to use. You are using ERP. Yes. It will depend on the type of application. And then we have the schema is a collection of the objects. All the tables are stored into the schema. Anyway, you just run the query. You can run the query. Select star from the schema will show all the tables. Even if you are not able to see from here, you can see how to see the tables. Go 6. I told you in first day is a table browser. Here you can see all the tables. If you put table name, you can see all the tables. If you want to see all the tables, you can see. From here you can see all the tables. There could be thousands of tables. Here it is just showing tables and they can define the tables in SC11. This is the above dictionary. Here they can create and define the tables. Here we can create also. You can create a database table if you want to create and you can define. But everything requires a key. It's not like that. You can just start working directly. You must be having the keys also to perform that activity. Every database developer must be having the keys to perform the task. But this is more related to development. This is not your task. In the DBA cockpit, you can monitor the space growth. What are the log size? Data array size. What is the status of your backup and other things? We can find it. D, a cockpit. We are going to see. And then we can run some 36. So, to check the background jobs, check background. So we said, find any job which got paid or not paid or running. This is my first job. When I started working in SAP, this was my first job. Here I am going to maintaining the landscape for a customer. That was AI customer. And I am maintaining their landscape. Here we have to I have to click username, and we have to check any job which got cancelled or not. Are you able to see? And then we can specify the time, like from today. You can mention then execute. Matches selection criteria. No job got cancelled. If any job got cancelled, job can cancel for different reasons. Suppose we have to update something into the database. There was no free space in the database. Job got cancelled. It has to import something. All this information, we can see it from here. You have to check any job which got cancelled or not. From here, we have different. In the background jobs, we have the section. There we are going to create the background jobs. There we can define the different kinds of job, and then we can control those jobs also. These are the T. We have to monitor the system. D, a cockpit. St2 is buffer. Buffers improve the performance when the data has to. The data first is going to import it here, and then it is going to process into the system. We check the buffers is st2. Whether we have swap is happening or not happening. Whether we have enough memory is available or not. From here, you can see we have name tab buffer, hit ratio 9%, progress 990%. Here we can see the different kinds of buffers and DF. DC table buffer. Here we can see the swap. Swapping is not happening. Our system is very fine-tuned. Swapping means the data it is not able to find into the buffer. Whatever the data is there, it is able to find into the buffer. There is no swap is happening. System is very fine-tuned. This is in this way we are going to monitor the system. This is the monitoring task. You have to monitor your system as per this requirement. These are the monitoring you have to perform daily basis. This was monitoring task and proactive monitoring. You are able to understand. This is the majority of the task. The certain of the time you have to do this activity. Now we will see the transport management. Transport management. You have to move the object from development system to quality system. In the development system, developer is going to develop the object and then you have to move those objects. Quality production system. You are going to move those objects into quality production system. We are going to see that is known as transport management. Transport management. A developer is going to develop some object into the development system and then you have to move those objects into quality and production system. We will see how to do the transport management. Transport is very simple activity. What happened? Most of the companies, they have the three system landscape. They have the development system, they have the quality system, and they have the production system. Quality production system. They are in development system. Developer is going to develop the objects. Quality system. The testing team is going to test all the objects. We have three types of system. And we are having three system. RD system. Develop is going to work here. We have different types consultants are there in SAP. You can see here which consultant is going to work here. Developer, develop, and functional consultant. Functional consultant are going to work home. In quality system. Who is going to work in the quality system? Testing team. Testing is going to work. And in production system, who is going to work? User. Basis consultant. Work in all the system. They are going to work in the development system. They are going to work in the quality system. They are going to work into production system. Which system is having the highest number of users? Production. Right. Develop. Make. In your company, develop could be develop functional consultant. Make. I am saying testing team. Maybe the end user. End user could be 6. Are there? They are going to enter the data. They are going to enter the production data, quality data, and other related data into this system. That's why this system is critical, because are there and the system. Your system would be in this system is closed. We are not going to work into this particular system. This system is for the port. This system is for the purpose. Production is closed. You cannot do any develop, relate activities. It is only for the end. End user is going the sales, purchase, or and other relate information. What happens? Suppose nowadays, now or what between Russia, Ukraine, we have comma, we have country, comma, country. To have business, company. To have helicopter, corporation, op, country. Country. Because country create country create country sys consult country trans eric whatever they develop transport liquid oh, through ec transport im he everything production system toward To export, we can use the transaction code SEO1. These are the T-code. With it, you can export. And for import, this is for export and then we are going to import. For import, we can run the transaction code STMs. You just have to import the transport request into the underlying system. First, I'm going to show you the complete task, how to do this. And you won't believe there is a 10-day course only for this topic, Transport Management System. There is 10-day course because this is big topic, Transport Management System. But it's very simple. I'm just going to show you what actually is happening. I'm not going to describe you how each and every step, like what is the binary, it is going to care. What is the actual real thing is happening that we are going to discuss. Now we will do the create a new country code. Now I'm going to create a new country, SPRO. Every consultant, functional consultant, is going to work in SPRO. SAP RefMG. SAP NetWeaver General Setting. Set countries. I'm going to create a new country. Define country code. I'm going to create a new country code. Client first, you try to understand. What is my client? What is my client? Here, it means how to maintain the client. I told you SC4. In SEC4, we have the client's all-in-one. What is the role here? Customizing. Automatic recording of changes, changes to repository and cross-client customizing. If I want to make as a production system, I can make as a production system when I make the changes to the client. When I make the changes to the client, that is known as production system. No changes allowed. No changes to repository. It means this would be if I make these changes. 1001 will become the production environment. If I make the changes, this will become my development environment. According to the client setting, you can make your development system. You can make your production system. You can make your quality system. Because you're always going to log in into a particular client like 1001 and 100, 200. What is the client setting? Whether it's a changes allowed or no changes allowed. From here we can measure I have to set up something because I have not set up. It is saying that TMS is not configured for this system. I am going to SPRO. SAP reference IMG. SAP reference IMG. SAP NetWeaver. General setting. Set countries. Country code. I am creating a new country. New country name is S is this. Here, we have to perform a lot of country name is Country name is send. Date format, time format, time format. I am creating a new country. The format would be when I am going to save this setting. You are able to see it is asking for the. Are you able to see what it is written here? You can create a transport request, and if the company has assigned to a transport request, you can mention the transport request. I can create our transport request here. I say the transport request is created. Are you able to see? This one is created. I write here. This is my TAN system. System. Request is always like this. Our request number is TAN. 5 characters. After that, there is a 10-digit transport request. This transport request create. We have tried to create a country. We have created a country. Country name is. I have put this into a transport request. When I am going to export, it will come. It right now. It is in the database. Right now, it is in the database. When I am going to export, it will come into the operating system level. And then we can import into the quality system. Quality system could be our another system like TAN system, and we can move it to. What was our system? We have GSC system or production system. Then we have to define, and then we can import to export this. Right now, all the information is into the database. We can export using transaction code. This is the transport request. Doesn't tool. Whatever I have done, it is recorded into the transport request. You can verify this information. You can go to Silo 1. T. You can display the request 1002. And this. Here you can see. This is the transport request. Under this request, we have a task. This task is an activity. Specify country in the my SAP system. What entries I have mentioned? It is also mentioned here. These are the table name. Under this table, I have make entry 8P in Zalung 1. I make SP country here. All this information is stored to in transport request. Now I can release the transport request. I truck button. Run this truck button and it will copy data from the database to the OS level. Now the transport request has been released to the request number, and then we can release the transport request. Release started. Then we can refresh. It is saying that it cannot be moved to the transport request because we have not set up the transport management system. We have not set up the transport to perform landscape. First, we have to define the landscape. What is my quality system? What is my development system? This is one-time activity that I have not defined. I will define that activity also quickly. I am going to set up a domain. Now we got a domain. First, we have to set up. This is only one-time activity. We have to set up. This is a domain. This is a domain. In this domain, first we have to set up the domain. I have set up the domain. Intern is our domain controller. And now I am going to include the GHC system. GHC. This GHC system will be included into the transport domain. I am into. Please include old standard password. Here also we have to define the company. We have not defined the company. How many vendors you are having in Basis? How many consultants are there? One or two or many? Now we got GSC system also. I approve the GSC system. Now I am going to create a complete domain. I am going to define a domain. In the domain, we will be having the different systems. We will be having development system, quality system, production system. The name could be different. Development system could be DV. And I am going to create a dummy system also here. Virtual system. These are the two physical systems, Tian system and Girassi system. Now I am going to create a dummy system, PRD. These are the three systems in our landscape. How it look like? You can see the picture representation also. Edit it. Configuration. Standard configuration. See system in a group. Our development system is Tian system. Quality system is GG system. And production system is PRD system. This is our now configuration. Training system. GSC system and production system. Training system. You are going to develop the object. Then you are going to do the transport into the GSC system. And then we are going to do into the production system. Right now. These are the configuration I have done. This is only one-time activity. Since it is not done, I have completed this stuff. We are having TRN 1002. We have developed everything into the TRN system. It should not be into the GSC system. First, we are going to verify this information into the GSC system, whether the GSC system is having a country or not. SP countries there are not. This is GSC system. In GSC system, we are going to identify whether we are having SP countries there or not. SAP reference IMG. Then SAP NetWeaver. General setting. Set countries. Specify country. In my SAP system, it is saying that display. I am logging with the user. This one. Here, I don't have even the right also. And even I can. I am just checking. Trying to see whether SP country is there or not. There is no SP. Oh. Sumatra. Suri. South Sudan. There is no SP country here. Now we will export and then we will import. First, we are going to export. We have to log in into the system. Now again, I am going to export. To export this, we have to select the transport request. Our request number is 9002. And then we have this truck button. I am now going to again release this task. Now it is done. This is transport request is completed successfully. This request has been completed successfully. Now we go to STM. Now we will import into the quality system. Our quality system is GC system. GHC. The GSC system. We are going to see the request is there or not. There is no request. In GSC system, there is no request. Again, I will try to create one more. Because maybe we have done after completion of this. Again, I am going to I am going to make some entry here and I am going to create some new entries in Tian system. Save it. It is asking for the request number. I will create a transport request. Logic. System. Request number 8004. Now I am going to again release this transport request. This is my Tian system. I will see the transport request number. Logical system. We have the development or correction. Under this task, I have written something. I have written. What I have written? I have written Sanjay. Whatever coding or whatever development you have done, like it is a container. In the container, everything is recorded. Now I am going to export. Then I am going to release this. Release transport request. Now we can refresh it. Now it is done. System. It has moved to the C system. We can see that one. We can go to this request into the queue of GSS. The basis consultant. The developer is going to develop the object and they are going to export, but they cannot import because the developer is not having the access, quality and production system. As a basis consultant, you have to click this one and you have to run the truck. Getting my point? It is very simple task and you will not believe that for this task I was doing in a company. My name was Sarco Solution. I was highly paid. Send. I have to do this transport request from morning till evening. I was getting emails. Move the transport request from development to quality and select the request and import the request. Client is, we can say, we have created into system. It will be moved into the GS system. You can see the import has been started. The truck is going on. Truck is return code is successful. It has been created. We can go to the GSS and GSS check. In GSS, we can check whether we have that suggesting logical system. Are you able to say this is our GS system? Able to see this is our GS system. I am going to only display. Are you able to see? I have not manually done into the GS system. I have done into system. In the TN system, I have written Sanjay Singh. Sanjay Singh. I have made some entry there. I have recorded into the transport request number. I have written something and I have recorded into the transport request number. I export and I import it. When I import it, the transport request number. Because Sanjay Singh, we don't have to develop the code here. It is already came. We can test whether the coding is working fine or not fine. Or we can run stress testing. We can do unit testing. We have lot of kind of testing there. We can perform the testing. And later on, we can import this transport request into the production system USDM. In this way, whole transport is going to. It is simple. You just have to release a transport request and then you run the CMS and you can import the transport request into quality production system. If I just assign the task to you, like to the transport monitoring task is, you have already seen the sheet and now we can do the transport. You can use any, you can use create system. For you go create system client a black transport request. I am going to show you each and everything you can do. Create a blank transport request. After that, create logic system assign request release trans request release transport release check check system system check whether logic system they system observe. You will be having the how to perform this. You please do it. This is RP earning client. Create. Trans. You can select Workbench Request Create. Create button is here. You can create the Workbench request, and this is the number. 9006 is the number, and this is the transport request. Then we can go to BD54. Now you can make new entry training system, something new entry you are making. Save it. In the transport request TRNK 1004 times 06. Assign it. Now you release the transport request CO1 displays 1066. First you have to release the task. In this task, you have created a training system. You can verify also. Training, and we have written the training system. Now we can release the transport request release. Task is released. Now we release the transport request. Rush it. Now everything is completed. We will now see in the GHC system whether we are having that activity or not. System BD. We have the training system or not. I just go here BD54. We don't have any training system entry here. Right? Are you able to see training system here in GHC client? We can import because we have not imported yet. We can import. To import this STMS, we can go to STMS TCode and we can go to truck button. We can select GSC system. We have to import the transport request. We got Zaran 6 now in the queue. I am going to import the transport request Zaran 6 client 1001. Now import has been started. Now it is done. It is done. It is saying done. Again, I go to BD54 in GHC system and check whether we have BD54, whether we are having that entry production. We don't have STM GHC. Import is done successfully. Zix. Zoop. I have imported again. I'm going to check whether it's there or not. We have completed. We have completed, you can say complete basis task miss as a 1 or 2, 2 through 3 years. Now other things are like more detailed that we will see later on how to perform the database administration task printer spool. 2, 3 sessions more required to complete the task and we will be able to complete. But everything is hands on. Please do the hands on also. You have plenty of time and the servers are available. You can practice. And finally, do not forget to like, share and subscribe to our channel.